Shabbat Shalom, Mishpocha! Hey, welcome to another edition of Ray Bash's Torah Tidbits. Today, we're going to be discussing the Torah portion called Yitro, or Jethro, which is Moshe, Moses' father-in-law. This takes place in the book of Shemot, Exodus, chapter 18 through chapter 20. And this is one of my absolute favorite Torah portions. It's not a very well-known Torah portion. It's not a very highly praised Torah portion that everybody goes gaga over. So people wonder, well, why do you like it so much? Well, because it deals with a single man, kind of an unsung hero in Judaism, which is Moshe's father-in-law, Yitro, Jethro. He was an Ishmaelite. He was a descendant of Ishmael, so he was part of the Abrahamic family. And so he had a concept of Torah that was passed down to him, because Ishmael, he never departed from his father's words. If you read carefully the Torah and also the book of Jasher, you'll see that Ishmael loved Avraham Avinu very, very much, and he never disobeyed him or departed from any of his words. But it was later, way on down the line that the Ishmaelites, the Ishmaelite clan, lost a concept of Torah and of Yahweh Elohim. But Yitro had a concept of this, and if it wasn't for Yitro, Yisrael may not exist. Well, why? Well, we'll get into that. Exodus chapter 18 verses 7, it says, "And Moshe went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obeisance and kissed him," which was the custom. Not only that, it showed that Moshe had high love and respect for Yitro. "And they asked each other of their welfare, and they came into the tent. And Moshe told his father-in-law all that Yahweh had done unto Pharaoh and to all the Egyptians for Yisrael's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how Yahweh delivered them." So Moshe was witnessing to his father-in-law, Yitro. "And Yitro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Lord had done in Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Yitro said, Blessed be Yahweh, or Baruch atah Yahweh, who hath delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who hath delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians." And this is what Yitro said. Listen to this. "Now I know that Yahweh is greater than all gods, for in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them." Verse 12, "And Yitro, Moshe's father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for Elohim, and Aharon came, and all the elders of Israel, to eat bread with Moshe's father-in-law before Yahweh." What does that tell us? What does verse 11 and 12 tells us? It tells us that Yitro converted. He converted. He accepted the God of Israel, Yahweh, as his God. Not only that, but the book of Jasher, chapter 82, verse 5, backs this up. And it says, "And Yitro and his children remained among the Israelites for many days, and Yitro knew Yahweh from that day forward." Oh, that was so awesome. Let's continue on with Exodus 18:13. "And it came to pass on the morrow that Moshe sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moshe from morning until evening. And Moshe's father-in-law saw all that he did for the people, and he said, What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou self alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning until evening?" And Moshe said to his father-in-law, "Oi," well, it doesn't say oi, but I'm just adding it in there for fun. "Oi, it is because the people come unto me to inquire of Elohim. And when they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and the other. And I do make them to know the statutes of Elohim and his Torah." So, now, why was Moshe doing this? Because being raised in Pharaoh's court, being raised as a prince of Egypt, the only model of rulership he ever saw was a dictatorship, was Pharaoh, who people considered a demigod. And basically, whatever Pharaoh said went. His word was law, and he ruled the people. In the book of Jasher, it says that after Moshe was found out for killing the Egyptian and burying him in the sand, and he became a refuge from the law of Pharaoh, that he didn't go straight to Midian. He didn't find Midian right away. What had happened is that he went to the land of Cush, and the people delegated him as ruler over the people of Cush. So he was kind of like the king of Cush for a short stint. And of course he ruled in a way that was only modeled before him by Pharaoh, and that was just to be a king, a ruler, and he didn't delegate any responsibilities. So here comes Yitro with some advice on how to rule. And it says, Moshe's father-in-law said unto him, the thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away. In other words, Yitro says, you're going to burn out. Both you and this people with you. Not only that, if you're burnt out, the people's going to be burnt out. So goes the ruler, so goes the people. He says, you can't do this thing alone. He says, hearken unto my voice, and I will give thee counsel. And if Elohim shall be with thee, be thou for the people to Godward, that thou mayest bring the cause unto Elohim. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and Torah, law, and shall show them the way wherein they should walk and work, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide all the people able men, such as fear Elohim, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And let them judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter that they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and thou shalt bear the burden with thee. So in other words, Yitro says, hey, haven't you ever heard of delegation? He came up with this great concept of delegating rulership, delegating responsibility. Everybody would still have to answer to Moshe. Moshe was still kind of like the king of Israel at this time, if you will. But Yitro said, you can't judge this people alone. You can't handle all these problems alone. Delegate responsible men and have them, like a small claims court, have them deal with the small stuff. And people won't have to bug you or bother you with the small stuff. But if they come to a real a doozy of a case, they can bring the great matters to you that they don't know how to rule or judge over, and you can make those decisions. It'll be easier for you and the people, and you won't wear out. And so Moshe brings this to God, and God says, yeah, this is it. Go ahead and do it. This is great. If it wasn't for Yitro's advice, Yisrael might not exist. Moshe could have kept going and going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny, but even the Energizer Bunny runs out at some point. He would have burnt out. They may have never survived the 40-year wanderings. He may have went postal and just got sick of the people and just abandoned them, or maybe have gotten a little crazy and maybe killed some of the people or something because they were driving him crazy. I don't know. But it didn't happen. Nothing bad happened because Yitro said, delegate responsibility so you won't burn out. And he did that. And Israel survived the 40-year wandering in the desert, and they came into the land. Not only that, but Yitro became a convert. Not only that, but the model or the suggestion that Yitro brought forth about delegating rulers over the people, he took to heart. There ended up being 70 rulers. And the number 70 is a very mystical and powerful number because it represented the 70 nations of the world that was known at that time. So there was Moshe ruled over all Israel, and there was an Israelite ruler to deal with all the small cases among the people. But not only that, it represented that there was an Israelite ruler for each nation so that they could teach the nations Torah. And indeed, the Torah wasn't just given to the Jews, it was given to all people because it said a mixed multitude in this Torah portion, that a mixed multitude came out with them. And when the Torah was given at Sinai, they said yes just as Israel said yes. So, and the rabbis and sages of blessed memory, peace be upon them, said that there was at least one representative from every nation that went out among the mixed multitude. So there was a delegate for each nation that said, we will accept the Torah on behalf of our people. So the Torah is not for just the Yehudim, but for all the people and all of Israel. To me, that's just an awesome story, and that's just an awesome Torah portion. I hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed the little small things that kind of pop out at you that you usually read over and just kind of miss. I hope you really enjoyed it, and chew on this week, and I pray that it blesses you and edifies you, and hopefully it'll tide you over till the next Ray Bash's Ramblings or Torah Tidbits. Shabbat Shalom and Shavua Tov, Mishpacha.